Okay guys, welcome back. So in this video what we're going to do, hopefully, is we're coming to an end. We want to create a profile page for every single reviewer, and we would just want, for example, on each page here, so somewhere here, for example, I want to be able to say this is from this reviewer, and you can click on the user, or if you're on the reviewers, if you're on the review, again you can click on the author and it can take you to their page. Okay. Also, what I'd like to sort of change this homepage a little bit, and maybe have another column here that just says top reviewers, sort of, person with the most reviews submitted, etc., etc. And then, that way what we're doing is we're showing a few more capabilities of what Django can do, and sort of what it can, how it can sort through data and filter data. So before I start that, I guess the first thing I need to do is I need to create another app. Maybe I don't need to, but I am. So one of the points of me sort of doing this is to sort of showcase what Django can do a bit for my students. And if that's the case, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another app here alongside our reviews app. So let's cancel our, what do you call it? Let's say Django-admin start app. And I'm going to call this app profile. Oh, should be lowercase as well. I'll call it profiles. Yeah. Okay, good. So there it is. It's created a new folder for me. There's my profiles. And I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to add too much to it. Okay, I'm just going to say that let's add a class. So this is what our profile is going to contain in it. Again, this inherits from models.model, and we want to start by saying we want to connect the profile to an author, or the author of our profile, or our profile user. We want to connect that once again to the user model. So models dot, and I don't think we've done this one so far. Now, previously when we did reviews, we used a foreign key field, because every single review or every author could have more than one review. But in this case, each profile has to be connected uniquely just to one. So what we're going to say is one to one field, and the field has to be user. And just like before, we're going to say on delete equals cascade. Oh no, sorry, it should be on delete models.cascade. Okay, and obviously if we're going to refer to the user, once again here we have to say from Django dot contrib dot auth dot models, we want to say import the user. So from the back end of Django, of our registered users, we want to import that model so we can create that relationship here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say number of reviews, because I'm going to use that later when I use Django to sort and filter for me, who's done the most reviews, etc. So that's obviously just going to be an integer field, and I don't think that needs anything to go with it. I think the user should have a picture. So let's say models dot image field, and we did this before, so we said upload to, and before I think what we did was we had that folder in our static called film image. All right, so this time we're going to create another one called profiles. So obviously when we upload our first profile pic, then what should happen is it will create a new folder for us here. So profiles, I'm going to say null equals true, and the reason why I'm doing that, because I'm about to create this table, and when it associates itself with, or well, the first user obviously not going to have a profile picture yet. the other way around this would be that I go around and delete all the records again. I don't want to do that. Oh, can't spell. Default equals we're going to have a default profile picture like before, so we'll say we'll keep it in the profiles / profile.png. okay, and we'll go and collect that. Okay, in retrospect I did download this beforehand, so I'll show you in a second. So then what we're going to do is we're going to do a link to a social media profile, because let's just showcase something like that as well. So char field, and we're going to say max length, max_length equals, let's say 200. Is that right? I think I've done right. Okay, as always we should do a string representation of every function. So refer to self, and refer to self as return self.author.username. okay, so what we're saying here is when it refers to the author, okay, which is connected to the user, we're saying refer to the user, and from that table the field called username. Okay, and then what we're saying is we want to increment reviews every time a review is submitted. Actually, you know what, I'm not going to do that. Forget that idea, I don't need that. Cool, so that's our profiles table done. Let us import the image. So in fact, where it says images here, let's create our folder. We said it was going to be called profiles. Okay, and from my other screen I'll just quickly grab and drag the picture that I have into that profile folder. Boom, there we are. So there's my default image, and I got this from a website called Flat Icon. I think it was Flat Icon, yeah. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, that's first step. Next step, let's move on. Let's register the URLs. So if we go to programming project, and obviously we're going to have URLs, so we're going to do this. I'm just going to copy that, and let's change that to profiles. So when we add the new URLs for our profiles, our main app again is able to read it. And before I forget, I should go into settings as well, and we have a new app, and our new app is called profile, so we register that as well, comma, save that, close that, URLs by, let's save that, let's close that, and let's start adding some URLs to our profiles. Let's go to profiles, new file, urls.py, and we should start by just saying URL patterns equals, square brackets, that should be fine, and we want to make a path. And what we want to do is we want people to be able to sort of write a forward slash, say profile, and then the number of a profile. So for example, we're just going to write int for now, integer, and then primary key. So we're going to basically, if our address has profile / and then a primary key, what we're saying is we want it to refer to a particular individual's profile. So we're going to say views dot what should we name this? Let's call this profile underscore detail, and let's give it a name, and we're going to create these in a second. Let's call it the same thing, profile underscore detail, comma, let's copy that because I can't bother to write out again. And what we'll do is we'll also create a link so that we can edit a profile. edit underscore profile. So in fact, you know what, let's copy that. Need to stop writing everything out. There we are. Okay, and obviously what we haven't done yet is we need to say from Django.urls we want to import path. That's kind of standard in every URL patterns file. And what we want to say is from the views, no, actually from this folder views, no, from this folder import views. So basically import all the views. Done. So we've done our URLs file, we've done our models. What we need to do is go to our views, and we need to write some views for this. Let's start fleshing out our profile details. So profile underscore detail is going to take a request, and we said, if you remember at the beginning in our URLs, we said we need to pass through a primary key as well. So I'm going to say not OK, I'm going to say PK for primary key. So we're going to do that, and then what we're going to say is we're going to say user is equal to get object underscore or 404 and user. So basically user is equal to primary key equals PK. And basically what it's going to do is when we click on a user's profile, we're going to say that the primary key is passed into that link at the same time, and I'll show you that in a second. And when that's done, we want this view to collect whoever the user is by grabbing the object user from the primary key. Now obviously there's two things that we need to do here. Alongside render, obviously we also need to get object of 404. Let's import that, and then there's also, and I'm getting lazy, so let's borrow this, stop typing everything out. We want to import the user again. Okay, and then obviously what we're going to do is some of the information about the user in our profile detail page is going to be from the user table. Okay, so things like username, email, first name, surname, that will be in the user table. But we've also got this other table now that's got data that's not in our other table. So obviously my server isn't running, so I was gonna go to this page, the admin, and show you. But obviously this data, that's separate. So what we're going to do is we're going to load that separately from the table again. So to do that, it's important that we say author equals, so we're going to refer to the user table as user and then the profile as author, and we're going to say the same thing again, get object of 404, and that's going to refer to profile, so our profile table, and again it should be the same as the primary key, and we'll clarify that in a second actually. So we want to refer to the Insta or the Instagram. In fact, you know what, yeah, let's do this. Let's say Instagram, because I want to link to it. I want to create a page. If you remember the way we did our API, when we took the API and we concatenated the reference for the film, we're going to do something very similar with the Instagram handle. So I'm going to say this is the Instagram URL. Okay, so the Instagram URL is going to be HTTP, and I'm just copying this out from by looking at another browser window, Instagram.com, and let's do a /. Okay, did I spell that right? I think I did. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say insta underscore handle is equal to, if you remember we did this, let's go to close profiles for a second. It should be on the reviews, and in our views there we had this here. So we had the API address, and then we did this. We said URL lib pass blah 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 blah. So let's borrow that and let's steal it because I can't able to type it out. You gotta look for shortcuts sometimes. And we're gonna say, well, you are gonna join for me Instagram, which is the address there, and you're gonna join that with we're gonna say author.insta, and I'll double check that in a second. So what we said is from here we're loading up the author from the profile page, from profile model. So if we go to models, and it should just be Insta. So what we're saying is from author load Insta, and we're going to concatenate the two. So what it's going to do is it's going to say whatever the address is / and then the handle should take us directly to that person's Instagram page. Okay, and then what else did we have here? We had number of reviews. Okay, so let's put a number of reviews in. Oh, I can close that now. Oh no, did I? Let's do this as well before I forget. Let's import that. I think I just need your lib, but I'm gonna stick it all in. I don't want to sit here with errors all day. So yeah, so we said reviews. So we said reviews equals. Oh, actually no. Yeah. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, so the reason why I'm going to do this is because let's do number of reviews. So I'm going to say number underscore reviews equals, yeah, same thing, number underscore reviews. So we're going to say, because we're going to say author dot number underscore reviews. So we're going to be able to say how many reviews they have, and then what we also want to do is we want to list their reviews. So we're going to say reviews, and to do that we're going to say from the reviews app, from reviews dot objects, we're going to say filter author dot id. No, author equals author dot id. So what this will do is when we load a page for each user, it's also going to load from the reviews table all the objects that belong to that author, and then we're going to list them out. Okay, and I think that's all we're doing here for now. If there's anything else, we have to think of it as we go along. Let's create a context. So context equals basically all of this stuff here. Oh, have I not done something yet? I've imported user. Actually, waste man, I haven't imported author yet. So I'm going to say from dot models import profile. I think that's right. So from this level and models import profile. That's correct. Okay, so now let's put our context in. Dictionary. Okay, that's our context, and then what we want is we want to return render, and as always we're going to render the request along with a page. And what should we call this? We're going to say profiles, because inside this profiles folder we're going to create a templates folder. We're going to say profiles / let's just call it profile underscore detail .html. Okay, and obviously along with that you want to pass through the context. Cool, so let's do that. Let's save that to start with. Loaded profiles, loaded user. That's the other thing we didn't do. I need to load the reviews table. So we're going to say from reviews app. So from the reviews app dot models import reviews, and let's just double check. So that's reviews lowercase s, and if we go into the models it should be a capital S FR with an S on the end. And have I done that? Yes, I have. Okay, so I think that's correct. I think that's everything I need for this table. There's nothing that I can't see. So let's save this. All right, and let's create ourselves a page. Right, so as the saying goes, if you don't plan, you plan to flop. So what I've done is I've done a really basic mock-up, and just to sort of give me an idea of what I want to create for my details page for my profile. So I want like an image with the person's profile picture. Underneath it, I want some of that data, like, you know, how many reviews they did. I don't know, stuff like their Instagram handle and whatever other detail we had from the profiles table. And then what we'll do is we'll add some of the details here from the user table, such as stuff like their username. Maybe we'll leave email out. You don't need to get too personal. And we'll see what else we can think of. And then underneath that, we want just a list of their reviews to fill up the rest of the page. Okay, so that will go underneath there. Now to do that, I was thinking maybe what we'll do is we'll use Bootstrap, and I like the use of cards. So first of all, what I want to do is I'm going to probably have a card like that with a top and bottom, and I'll use that to have the profile picture and then the details underneath. And then what we'll do is we'll do a slightly longer card to have the other data. And what I might do is actually I might even fill it with a list like that. Okay, so let's make a start on that. Okay, so as always, I'm going to hack my way through, and I'm in the Profiles app here. Let's create a new folder. Let's create two folders together. Let's create a folder called Templates, like that. And inside that, there should be another folder called Profiles. So we'll do that. And then what we'll do is we will copy the film review template. Not that I want it, I just want to take what I need from it. So in there, I'll take that. And what I really want to do, as always, let's get rid of that. And let's start from there. So I'll get rid of that. I don't need that. So I need my start blocks and end blocks, as always. So this is just so that it's kind of as uniform as possible. And obviously I don't need that there. Instead, let's gonna say, well, actually what we'll do is we'll say user profile. And here I'll import the user's name in a second. So again, I'm going to go to Bootstrap. Let's board that. And from the layout, I'm going to say grid, that one. Okay, so I want something like this. Okay, and I want to be able to divide my columns into two. So what I'll do is that will do. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll say from there, I like that. I want a 2-column layout, so I'm going to say let's do a div. Let's borrow all of that, and then we'll make some changes to it. So let's move that away, and let's paste that in there. So we've got a row, we've got 2 columns. Let's get rid of the 3rd column, we don't want that. Okay, however, I do want to say that in my column here, I want that to be a small to medium, and let's make that one 3. And then this one, we want SM, and this one should be 9. So columns are divided into 12, as you know. Let's put a dash there. So this will be where our first card goes. Have I done it wrong? Oh, I might have done. Did I copy that twice? No. So container row, it's just the way this thing, the way it lays things out. Okay, so I've got my row. Inside my first row, I've got column 1 and then column 2. In my row of 2 columns, that's going to be dash SM dash 9. And then I can get rid of the rest. I forgot there was 2 rows there. So let's get rid of a second row. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and just so I can see, okay, that first div is my container. That's my container being closed. That's my row. Column 1, column 2, and then that's my row being closed. Okay, so I think that's correct. So in column 1 then, I'm going to go for that card. Where's the card? Let's get the card up. Components, card, and I like the look of that basic looking one. That will do. Let's borrow that. Put that back onto my other screen. So let's get rid of you and let's paste that in again. Boom. Okay. So we want this person to have an image. We'll put the image in afterwards. You want to say card body, and inside the card body, here's where we go. Right, H5, and we'll give you a class, and our class will be card title. And then inside our class title, what we're going to start doing is we'll start importing stuff. If we go back to our views here, okay, let's look at the context that we're passing through. So we're passing through from the user table, we're passing through user. So if I go back to here, film review, oh thank God, I thought I was editing the wrong file. I need to rename that. I'll do that in a bit. Okay, so from here I need to say let's pass through the user dot first name, first underscore name is the way it's written. Let's have a space, and then let's pass through user dot last underscore name. So that's our card title. Underneath that, let's have some more details. So let's say let's have a paragraph, and our paragraph will have a class, and this will be card text. So we'll say card text, and we'll say username. So username, and we'll do that, and we'll say user dot username. That should be fine. Let's stop writing this out every single time. So we'll say number of reviews, number of reviews. Number of reviews will be user dot username. No, it's going to be user dot number underscore reviews. That should be fine as well. And underneath that, let's have our Insta. So we're going to say that's card text as well. We'll delete that. I'm going to use an icon, and we're going to say we're not going to take this from the user. We're going to take this one from the author, and we're going to say Insta. Did we say Insta? Insta, yeah. So that will just be their handle. It will just be the name of the handle, not the whole thing. And we'll deal with the link in a bit. Yeah. Okay, so what we now want to do is let's go back to our Bootstrap. In fact, let's go to Font Awesome, and I've already got Font Awesome Instagram. Let's take an Instagram icon. Let's take that one. Let's copy that. Let's close that for now. Move that back. And we're going to say that. So that should put the logo in for us. We've got the image. Do we have the image? Yes, we do. No, we don't. Let's put the image in. Okay, so the image should be, again, it should be from author dot, was it pick? It was pick. Yes. So we'll go back to here. Author.pick, and we have to state that it's a URL. Okay, let's leave that as it is, and then let's do our second card. Okay, and then our second card, literally it's going to be the same, more or less. So actually what I could do is I could take that card there from, I believe, up to here. Yep. Let's take our card. No, one more. Yes, one more. Alright. Let's put our card in there. That seems to fit. And this time we're not going to have an image, I believe. So we'll get rid of that. Get rid of that line. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to have a card body. Let's get rid of the width, because the width will be determined by the width of the column. So I can do that here as well. And card body. And do we have a card title? Should we have a card title? Yeah. Yeah, actually this makes sense. This side will just be reviews. And the reason we're going to do just reviews, so we're going to change the initial plan idea, was because everything like name and username and stuff like that, that's already on the left hand side under the picture. So I can use this side just for reviews. So card title here will be reviews. And then what we'll say is we'll introduce a table actually. So let's get rid of that stuff. Boom. And let's put a table in here. So again, I'm going to use Bootstrap for that. So let's go back to Bootstrap. Let's borrow you. And I think that should be under content, tables. And literally that will do. So I'll copy that for a second. And we'll paste that there. And then we will lay it out better. Good. Alright, so in our table head, I don't want that column. So in our table head, our reviews will have, we'll keep a title. We'll say publication date. And then we'll just say critic rating of that film, and we can add more later if we think this is wrong or we need more. So that's the first line of our table. Again, I'm going to get rid of that scope, and to be honest, I can probably get rid of the rest. Yeah, get rid of the rest. Yep, that line as well. So now what we want to do is we're going to put this into a for loop. I believe that's correct. So we're going to say here, we're going to say for review in reviews, just to make sure. If we go back to our views file here, we pass the reviews as reviews. Yeah, so for review and reviews, we'll end our for and for, and then this basically is going to go inside that. Right, so we have a table head that just says title, publication, and rating. So underneath, what we want to do is we want to change that to, the first one would be rev dot title. Where's that? Let's go to our models for reviews. I think it's this one. Yeah, so we're going to have title. Let's copy publication date, will be the next one. Rev dot publication date. Come on, mate. There we are. And the last one will be rev dot critic R, I believe it was. Let's double check. Models critic R is correct. So I think that's kind of done. Is it done? We'll see if there's any mistakes afterwards, but it looks to me like that's the template kind of done, more or less. And I think we'll probably do some tweaks to it. So let's save that. Let's close it. I don't need that anymore. Let's close that. In fact, I need to change that to, oh, before, what did I say it was going to be? Profile detail. No, hold on. So inside the views, we said it was going to be called profile detail.html, just to make sure it's all right. Rename. Boom. That's done. Right, yeah, so what we're now going to do is we're going to go to our home page. Let's go to home page. So that should be under reviews and templates and home page. Okay, now here where we've got, oh, we don't have that. We have the film review. That's fine. So we'll stick it underneath that. And we'll say, let's put it into a paragraph tag. So we'll say P, and then what we'll do is we'll say span, and we'll say class equals float right. So we're going to have the button to say check out the review, and then to the right of that what we'll do is we'll float another link. So we'll say A, so we'll do anchor, don't muck around. There we are. So anchor, and we're gonna put in a URL, just one. So URL equals profile detail, and then we need to pass an ID. So if we look up here, yeah, we are in a for loop here that says review. So we'll take that. So we'll say the ID is going to be review dot author dot ID. Okay, so that should give the, let's borrow that as well, not author. And over here we want to say, so that will display the author's name, and then that will link to the author's profile. So if you remember, what we said was when we create the URL, we're going to pass through an ID, and we're doing that from here because it's related. We're saying from that for loop where we look at each review obviously has the author's name in it. So what we're saying is that's the author's name, and we just want to pass through the ID for the author. So that takes us to, let's save that. And actually we should do the same thing in the film review. So here where we've got author review, author, all we'll do is we'll keep that there, and we'll say A, and we'll do the same thing again. So we're going to say, let's pass through a URL, and the address is going to be profile underscore detail. This time the ID, because it's not in a loop, I think we're just going to refer to, oops, author dot ID. I think that's correct. We'll give it a go in a second. So let's save that as well. Oh no, hold on, we need to take that, and we need to pass that as the text of a link. Okay, I think that's done. Let's close that as well. And let's test it out. So let's go here and let's type in run server. We've done a lot of changes actually without testing anything out. Oh, here we go. Integer field is not defined. Where's that? Models line 8. Profiles. Oh, wrong one. Integer, that's because I can't spell. There we are. Ah, okay, there's another mistake. So clearly I've created that. Is that wrong? How is it spelled here? Let's borrow that. Since I think I'm a bit brain dead, and I'm not writing correctly. There's no mistake there. Okay. So what's the problem? So now we're saying profiles models line 8 integer field. Integer field is not defined. Oh, I'm definitely brain dead. I've been coding for too long without taking a break. There we are. It needs to come from the models. There was a spelling mistake there. Okay, so that's, now we're saying has no attribute char field. That's because it's not capitalized. Where is it? There we are. Need a capital F there. And clearly there's another mistake here. That can run. Oh no, what's this? It has no. On the URLs file, line 6, profiles.views has no attribute edit profile. Is that right? So on line 6 of URLs, line 6, edit profile. So that must mean then. Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. We'll do is the reason why is because we haven't created a view for editing the profile yet. We've only created a view for the profile itself. So let's save that again. So let's save that. Hopefully now we've got no errors. That's a lot of errors. Okay, no errors I mean, but obviously it's clear that I haven't made my migration. So manage pi, make migrations. I would have seen those errors beforehand if I had made my migrations. And let's migrate. Cool. All right, let's run our server. Excellent. All right, let's go to home. Right, so we've done it, we've refreshed, and as you can see, what we've got now is we have now got this link that takes us to, if you can see on the bottom left, it says profile 1. So if I click on it, okay, so we haven't got a link yet, that's fine. No profile matches. Oh, okay, I think the reason for that is because, all right, we have our users, which is fine. But we haven't formally created, oops, where am I? Ah, okay, there's the next mistake. I've got it. So in our admin, we haven't registered this. And just to remind myself, let's borrow that. And then let's just edit it. So let's close that. And let's go to admin there. Let's paste them in. We're saying from.models import, I believe it was profiles. And we're going to say admin site profiles, and just to double check, the models here was profile, not profiles. Let's get rid of yeses. Right, so now that I've done that, now we've registered the user, refresh. The user now appears under profiles. That's cool. Let's create a profile. All right, so our first profile needs to be connected to Mr. Muller. Number of reviews, well, go back to home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This person's got 5. There's a reason why I'm going to add it now, and we're going to make some changes to that later. Profile pic I'm going to leave for now. Insta handle, I don't know. Let's leave. Can I have none for now? Okay, so for the purpose of testing, I'm not going to go with none. I've just looked up one. I'm going to go with fresh prints, just for the purpose of testing. Okay, so now I've done that. So that should be linked together. So if we go back to the home page and we go to Mr. Muller, now, right, so now we've got our default profile picture, and we've got a link. Oh, we haven't got a link. Where's the link? So Instagram picture, fresh prints, all the reviews are there, they're listed. That's looking quite nice. That's nice. So name is there from the user table. Number of reviews isn't up. So why isn't the number of reviews up? All right, I didn't put a link in, that's why. Okay, so what we'll say is a href. Oh no, just one. No, it's 2. And the model was, no, it was the view. From the view, where's my view? From the view, we passed in Insta handle. Boom. So we'll take that and we'll pass through Insta handle, and that comes from author. So author.insta handle and then author insta. Let's save that. Let's go back to the page and refresh. Oh yeah, rookie mistake. Okay, obviously I need to take that and I need to pass it into my hyperlink. So let's do that again, refresh. Right, now I've got a link. So now if I click on it, oh, I think the reason why it's happening is because I refer to it as author.instahandle, whereas that is from the views. This is something, where's my views? Yeah, so instahandle, we're passing it through with the completed URL. So let's try that again, refresh, and now Fresh Prince should take me to the Instagram page for Fresh Prince. Okay, so that's working as well. Obviously number of views, I haven't done that, and I think the reason again is because I didn't need to pass it through as author number of views or user. I just had to pass it through as number of views. Username, I think that can stay. Okay, so let's try that again. That's it. Reviews are there, username came up already, name and stuff came up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, oh yeah, we didn't pass through the name there, so let's say here. In fact, let's just copy and paste that there. Okay, I think that's everything for the user page for now. We now need to work on the edit page. Okay, and I'm conscious that this video is about 45 minutes long, so we'll call it a day there. Next video we're working on editing the user profile page. Okay, see you then.